Well, all the phenomenons of fall, like football, pumpkin, and back to school, are slowly making their way back into our lives. So is another thing, allergies.
You know, I have noticed a few sniffles and sneezes around the office lately.
Yeah, and Sean, for the more than 35 million of you sufferers, those allergy flare-ups are just getting started. Now, according to pollen.com, ragweed and grasses are the triggers for us right here on Delmarva. And soon we'll be able to add mold, dust, and dander to the mix. Sounds like a party, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, Lisa, I have allergies, and the headaches and face pains, they just get to be annoying, but there is more you can do than just nasal sprays and over-the-counter medications. In fact, some experts say allergy relief may be in your own home.
You hear a lot of this.
Spring isn't the only season for allergies.
Fall is always a fun time of year for those of us that suffer from allergies, so I think this year probably won't be much different.
Pharmacist Dr. David Davis says the two major culprits for this year's allergy season, mold and ragweeds.
Even though it's not an illness, it can make you feel pretty bad.
Allergy specialist Dr. Paul Sharkey says your best bet for battling allergies are your over-the-counter drugs like antihistamines or nasal sprays. But he says there are some things in your pantry that could help your fight for relief, like pineapples that are high in bromelain.
That has an antihistamine effect.
Foods like cinnamon, ginger, strawberries, blueberries, and tomatoes can have an anti-inflammatory effect. And for your supplement users, vitamin C, vitamin E, and omega-3 fatty acids are your best choices.
We don't have really good, well-designed studies to say that eating these foods really does this benefit, but we know that those products are in the foods and that they can be helpful.
Parkey says even though local honey is a popular home remedy, he thinks it's questionable.
When you get into a branded medicine, you know exactly what you're getting. When you get bee pollen produced locally, each batch will have different pollen in it, and depending on what someone's allergic to, that could be good or bad for that individual.
But one thing doctors say is certain, everyone should be prepared for a roller coaster of an allergy season.
Now, doctors say mornings are the worst time for pollen, so if you're a jogger who suffers from allergies, Lisa, like I know you are, the best time to go for a run is in the afternoon or in the evening.
I love my morning runs, though. Okay, so now that you know some natural remedies, you may need them just to be able to spend time indoors. Not sure what I mean? Well, let me ask you, Sean, have you ever noticed that your countertops or your dresser or whatever are dusty 2 days after you clean them?
Of course.
Of course,
yeah.
We all have. Are your allergies worse when you're inside your home? Well, if you answered yes, Angie may just know the culprit, your air ducts. But getting those clean sound like a job for the professional. So here now are ways to get what you're paying for.
We all want great service at a low price, but when the price is too low, your scam detector should start beeping. Angie's List says reputable air duct cleaning companies may sound expensive at first, but they are providing an honest price for honest work.
You know, a deal to clean your air ducts for $50 or $60 might not be what you expect. Typically, air duct cleaning costs about $300 and takes 2 to 4 hours to complete.
Here's something to keep in mind. Angie's List says an air duct cleaning company would not survive on some of the low prices often advertised.
It's simply a bait and switch. They get into the house, and I can tell you exactly what they're going to tell you. They're going to find mold, and the price is going to go from $59 to about $800 immediately.
In fact, mold scams are common. Unscrupulous contractors may even show you evidence they actually brought in themselves. Some come extra prepared.
They'll say it's not safe to stay in the home. I've even seen it where they actually carry coupons for hotels so that they tell them to leave the house. Very, very rarely, if ever, does a family need to leave the house if there is a little bit of mold found inside the air ducts.
Angie says to avoid anyone who pressures you into immediate action.
From time to time, an air duct cleaner may actually find other issues with your air ducts, mold being the most common. If they suggest fixing it right on the site, don't feel pressured to do so. You might even consider getting a second opinion.
Angie also suggests looking for someone certified by the National Air Duct Cleaners Association. A good contractor will be happy to show you the completed work, even what's been removed. That's visual evidence you can trust.
If someone tries to scare you, please ask them to leave. What I tell people is, there's enough mold in this world for me to make a living. I don't need to scare anyone, and I don't need to lie to anyone.
And of course, we're not saying all HVAC, just make sure they're licensed and insured. And a local LG or York dealer is often a great choice. So how often should you have your ducts clean? Well, if you live in a smoke-free, pet-free home, Angie's List suggests having your ducts cleaned every 3 to 5 years. However, if you have allergies, you may want to consider a cleaning every 1 to 3 years. Also, if you're having remodeling work done, make sure your contractor properly protects the ductwork so the dust and debris don't get sucked in and spread throughout your home.
Yeah, for those of you who have allergies, it's not just ductwork that needs to be adjusted. It's pretty much everything in and around your home, including your outdoor garden. Coming up next, gardening expert Jeannie Rosencrans tell us which plants are best for allergy sufferers and which ones need to be avoided like the plague.
Well, you may be avoiding an eye doctor's visit right now, but you don't have to, especially with all those great choices you have. Still ahead, we hear why one local office says patients and doctors should be more like partners. But first, we've been talking about allergies. Dr. Oz says there's another irritant at home that can hurt your health: pollution.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Air pollution isn't only a problem outside. Indoor air quality also affects your health. Pollutants come from oil and gas, building materials, and furnishings. Health problems include eye, nose, and throat irritation, headaches, dizziness, and fatigue. For clean air, make sure your home has proper ventilation.